Welcome everyone to this episode of our travel adventures with Dan Mick. As you can see by the landscape behind us, we are not in Moab, Utah today. Rather, we have ventured into the high country of the San Juan Mountains of Colorado. Now, I know Dan thinks he's on vacation, but there's a Jeep involved, so I'm sure that there's other things in store for us today. Let's find out what we're going to do on this adventure.
Well, we're going to travel to some of the highest peaks. We're going to be up over 13,000 foot, going over some of the mountain passes. We're going to visit Telluride, Silverton, and Ouray, Colorado. We're going to see some of the beautiful lakes and especially high mountain passes. We're going to see some of the old gold mining operations, some of the old mills, stamp mills and things. So stick around. We'll show you some fun. We'll show you a number of different things, I'm sure. We're going to run into people doing silly stuff in the mountains, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. I wonder what's in store for us.
You never know. We'll see.
Let's go have some fun.
Let's go have some fun. We're on Engineer Pass today, working our way up to the top. We'll see where we go from there. Come on along, enjoy the adventure. People always ask me, hey Dan, where do you go on vacation? You know where? Look at this. My backyard, Ouray, Silverton, Telluride, Lake City. We're right now at the intersection of Engineer Pass, Ouray. Ray just came up to Engineer. We're gonna go all the way on up to the top to see what it's like up on there. It's a beautiful area. We've been up on top of Engineer. We're back down at the intersection here. We're going to head on off down towards Silverton, an old mining town. But before we get there, we're going to stop and visit a place down there called Animas Forks. It's got a lot of history and some of the buildings are still there. Let's go check it out. they had up here going hundreds of years ago were the mines. Gold, silver, nickel. That's what they were after. You can see up behind us here some of the mines. They were scattered throughout all these mountains. Most of them have been fenced back off again, like you can see. Shouldn't go into any of them. I recommend if you want to go see what the mines look like, go down and do the tour through the old 100 over there in Silverton, or over in Ouray, the Bachelor Syracuse. Those are two mines where they do tours in, put you in the rail cars. It's a lot of fun. You'll enjoy that a lot. Now we're going to head on the rest of the way down to Animas Forks. It was an awesome place down there. Let's go. In 1873, the first crazy guys came up into this area. This was known as the Three Forks of the Animas. In 1875, they started gold mining. By 1885, there was about 450 people living here during the summer months. Very few people weathered the harsh winters and the amount of snow that fell in this high country. Half of the town lay off this way and it burned. That was a big problem, as you can see with all these structures. They did not put any paint on any of them, ever. And because of that, they weathered a lot. The Historical Society, Colorado, likes to come in and save these old buildings, have put new roofs on a lot of them. A roof, a tin roof, whatever, a wood roof, will save that structure from falling to the ground by keeping the snow and everything off of it. There were a lot of folks living here, and then when the price of ore fell again in 1910, 1920, the place closed out. Nobody here after that again. So it's amazing that this stuff is still around for us to look at 100 years later. It's amazing. We've got a lot of houses still on this side of the road. On the other side of the road, none. One of the big problems they had back in the day, they were all built tight and close together. Fire. The other side of the street caught fire and roared all the way down, burned every one of the houses that was there many years ago. I don't believe there was any loss of life at that time, though. Here at Animas Forks, they had one of the most expensive gold stamping mills here ever. It was called the Gold Prince Mill, and that thing cost them over $500,000 to build back in 1904. It only lasted 6 years and was tore down later, and a lot of it was used in another mill further south of here. But at that time, they had 100 stamp mills pounding the ore into sand, running it across the tables to extract the gold and the silver off of it. Can you imagine what it sounded like here in these canyons to have 100 stamp mills pounding away all at the same time? That had to be noisy for sure. Amazing. Hi guys.
Hey Dan.
Hey, where y'all from?
Montrose.
Well, I drove through there yesterday.
Yeah? From
You know a guy down there that builds motorcycles?
I don't.
Oh, I do. I'm gonna have him put my Harley into a trike. What's wrong with the Jeep?
The rear end just keeps swaying back and forth.
Something broke. Oh yeah, that's your first clue right there. Let's get underneath to see what's moving around. Okay.
It's this right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, see?
All right.
Okay, so the thing to do is that for now, just get rid of that bracket that in there broke. It's an aftermarket piece you don't really need. You can put the track bar back up and it'll pull the rear diff a little bit one side or the other, but it'll stop it from doing this.
Okay.
Okay, now the good fix would be to have somebody at a good 4x4 shop come up with a better bracket if in fact you want it lowered down to that point. They also make track bar brackets that'll attach to your spot you have, but they're adjustable, so you can set it to the length it needs to be, which would be a really good thing also.
Okay.
You know, Jeep, just each and every paycheck, just empty every pocket.
Right?
Just expect every problem, just exchange every part, just explore every place, right?
Right?
Yeah. So, you know, it's an easy fix. A little bit of welding. Okay, what you're rubbing against is a nice big round bar. It's not going to tear a hole in your tire. Going down the road, rubbing against it solid for a long time, you blow up the tire. But you'll get down here and back in there. I'd get rid of the bracket.
Okay.
Take it right off. All right, day 2 of my family vacation. We're up here at the Telluride Mountain Village. We just got off one of the trams over here. It's a lot of fun. I recommend you do it. It's free for the family. Kids love it. They have pet-friendly cars, tram cars to take you in. Hey everybody, turn around here. Check out the town. Look at that below. There you go. That's Telluride, and we're dropping like a rock.
I seen enough.
On the other side, though, you see the trail we're going to be on there. That's Imogene. Going up there and up the pass. Right at about where the snow line is up there. A little below that is where the Tomboy mine is. I don't know how many stamps they had pounding there at one time, but there was a lot of stamps pounding the rock into sand, and they'd put it on the tables and shake it, and gold would go one way, and rock and other stuff would go another way. This is the farmers market held every weekend here in Telluride. It's worth coming and seeing. You can buy anything you'd like here. They've got grain-fed beef, lamb. They've got strawberries, sandwiches. They got arts and crafts. Everything you'd expect to find at a very upscale, very cool, very, very unique outdoor market. Come on, let's go see what we can find. Here we got leg of goat, beef, pork rib chops.
Okay, best popcorn ever.
Organic sweet cherries here, right straight from the farm. I see we found what your wife is interested in.
Well,
The
it's
all-natural pet food. Farmers market always has fresh baked goods. I bought this thing with the pink on it for my lovely wife. Here you go, honey. Even got your fork. Carrot cake's mine. Hey everybody, time to go. Let's load up. Where's that doggy car? It's a beautiful valley here. Look again, one last time at Telluride. It's absolutely gorgeous. That's the famous Bridal Veil Falls that you know, the water comes pounding off of, the house above, and the little tram that takes the people up to it. It's an awesome place to visit over there too. We might get there later. We'll see. That's the picture everybody wants. Right there. You got Bridal Veil Falls pouring off on the right. You got the falls coming off Black Bear on the left. And you got all the switchbacks there. You see people working up and down the switchbacks. As far as the top of Bridal Veil Falls, where they'll park the vehicles and hike up in. Bridal Veil Falls there, and the home above it used to be a generating plant for electricity right there. It's a privately owned home now, featured in one of the top 100 homes in the USA. finally made it to the top of the Tomboy here. We're 3,000 foot above Telluride. In 1894, the Tomboy mine started producing gold, and in 1897 it was sold for over $2 million. That was a lot of money back then for sure. The little shelf road we just came up on, daily stagecoach ran up and down that thing carrying people and materials. We're at 13,114 feet at the top of Imogene Pass. We got one of our U.S. Forest Service guys here. Come on over here, tell me, is this mountain getting taller or shorter?
Well, in about another 20 million years, it'll be ground level.
There, that's what I figure it too. How long you been with the Forest Service?
This is my 10th summer.
10th summer?
Yep, yep.
So you a volunteer with them or
No, I'm
employee?
a federal employee. Right.
Cool, cool. We heard there was an avalanche on this trail the other day.
I understand that the Telluride side had theirs cleared, and then they had an avalanche. They had to start all over again.
Down below here, huh?
Yeah.
Because it looked like a couple spots we saw were pretty hairy. Like a lot of snow still above you could come right down in.
Well, the next mile here is going to be exciting.
Just as fun.
Yeah?
Except it's snow and ice.
Well, ooh, downhill on the ice and snow. Is there still gold here under these mountains? Or did it all play out?
Well, there's 3 mines over here in the Yankee Boy Basin that have reopened
Is there?
in the last 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
One of them's primarily a silver mine, and so it's they're very optimistic. It was one of the biggest silver mines in Colorado back in the
Yeah.
1880s to the 1930s.
Now the old 100 over there never produced any gold or silver.
You know, a lot of those, the owners made their money by reselling to somebody else.
Well, this down here, the old Tomboy down here, I heard that they sold it in, what was that, 19 or something? Or 1897, 4, whatever, to a group of people overseas. And I heard for every gold bar that went out the front door, there was about 2 that went out the back door.
Yeah, maybe so.
The money didn't get to where it was supposed to go. Made it to the top of this pass, and it's down off the other side. He says it's snow-packed and ice. We'll see how that goes. We'll get behind some of these guys. Ready? Let's go have some fun. Ouray's calling us.
You going down to Telluride?
Down here overlooking the little town of Ouray, Colorado. Founded by the miners near the hot springs. You get in here, there's a couple things you can do. Relax in the hot springs, which I'm going to do later today maybe. There's also the Box Canyon Falls to go over and hike up and down through. There's waterfalls on the other side. You can hike up to those, that's pretty cool. And there's a pretty vibrant main street with a lot of things to look at in the stores. If you're into hiking, there's lots of trails around in the area. Right behind us is the Sutton Mine Trailhead, which will take you all the way up over the top and on the other side of the ridge. There's a lot of places here to hike. In Ouray here, they have a pretty good 4th of July celebration too. They'll be shooting fireworks off at this end of town. They have a bunch of Jeeps come riding in down the highway with flares on each bumper. They shoot up and down Main Street. They'll have a good parade early in the morning. Tomorrow we're going to go over to Silverton, and our plan is to march along in our Mountain Man outfits in the Silverton parade. We'll see how that goes off. Till then, take care. We're over here near Silverton, over near the Animas River, and we ran into this guy stuck out in the middle of the river. Now, you won't believe what happened. He actually drove through to the other side, thought he was in two-wheel drive or whatever. He goes to lock the hubs, he unlocks the hubs. He gets back and through it again, back and forth. He gets stuck in the middle. Now he's out there stuck in the middle of the thing, and we're not sure what he's going to do. Looks like he's climbing out on the hood now, and he's gonna lock the hubs from laying across the top of the hood. Watch this. We'll see if he gets out of it.
We did this on the way here, so I think it's funny that we're like, oh yeah, we can do it, and then it's, oh, just kidding. We got stuck, yeah.
He unlocked them before he crossed it?
Yeah, and he's supposed to be locking them, but now that's what he's doing. He's leaning over his hood to lock them so he can get out of the creek. Oh.
You know, when you're out here, lock your hubs, make sure everything's working before you go into a mud hole, before you go into the water. Here he comes.
Four-wheel drive helps.
Oh, it's draining. You can see it coming up from the back. There's like 5, 6 inches.
All right, folks, the best thing to do, though, is to stay out of the water. See you later. As you're driving these trails around here, you'll see these little brown critters. Or maybe you'll hear them up there in the rocks, chirping away. The locals call them whistle pigs. The true name for them is a marmot. Pretty cool. A lot of interesting facts about marmots you can learn by talking to some of the locals around here. I just like seeing them out here. You'll see them throughout the day. Remember, they've got the right-of-way out here, so don't try to run one of them over. Hey, Alyssa. Where's Richard?
I don't know, I haven't seen him around.
Did he have dinner with us?
I don't recall. There was still food on the plates.
Well,
He usually cleans up everything, doesn't he?
yeah.
He must be somewhere.
As you can see, we're kind of in dire need of a new tread on our tires. We have a new set of Falcon tires to put onto these things. 38-inch tall tires, super stickies. We're going to put on here and show you just how simple and easy beadlock wheels are. And it just rolls over. It is very important that you knock the back bead off of a beadlock wheel before the front one, because if you start unbolting it, you will not be able to push against the tire with the machine to take the back bead off. So now that the back beads are all popped off, just knock the ring out. So you can see that that one just broke. And if you look real close, you can see it's rusted inside, like it's been broken a while, and it was just barely hanging on by a little thread. But the problem is that there's still a bolt in there, okay, the stud. Okay, and in most other beadlock wheels, you have to get a right hand thread in there or something. But the cool thing about the Raceline wheels is that you could just get a center punch and punch them out. Maintenance is real easy. You just knock the broken part out, just like that. And now you can get a hold of it and twist it out with a pair of pliers. So what we have here is a new stud. You just put it in the back like that, put the bolt, a new bolt in, and you hammer down on it and it pulls the stud back up into its slot. Now it's all back up in there, no drilling, no left hand threads, no trying to get that broken stud out. Just replace it all. So what a lot of people try to do is they try to go opposite ends like this. I don't think that works all too well. Not as much as just following the same path. Sure, that one might come in just a little bit, but you gain so much more traction just going in one direction. This is a 38 Falcon tire, the Wild Peak. So you just get your tire, you put it in, and you just karate kick it. What's your trick for this, Tom? There it goes. So now that I have the tire and the wheel together, you center it to where it sits in that bead. And you get your rim, line everything up. All we need to do is pull that bead down just a little bit so we can get the other ones in. Normally what you do is you torque them all down to the same torque because you don't want to bend the ring at all. But where this is a tire we've taken apart and put together so many times, kind of just eyeball it in opposite corners to see which one's the tallest. Up to a point, we get it to where it sits down on, and then we torque them all. We need to put the back bead on now. Remember, this is the step that we did earlier. We had to take the tires over to the tire shop to pop the back bead. To put it on, you simply put your air check on, you push down on it until you hear that, and then you back away.
Today we're up above Silverton. We just came up through Corkscrew. And we found, again, another one of these wonderful old mine shafts. They're cool to pick around in the rocks and look for a little piece of gold in a rock or something. But once again, you want to look in there, go in there just about that far. Don't go any deeper. You take your flashlight, shine it. It's full of mud and muck. You don't want to be in there. People get back in there and they get a pocket of no oxygen. They'll get in there, there'll be poison gas. Stay out of any open mines you find.
Well, Dan, I have to say that this has been an action-packed time here in the San Juan Mountains. We've done so many things that I can't remember all that we have done over the past few days. We've been wheeling, we've been in town, we've been here, we've been there, we've been on a tram coming down the mountain.
The tram was great over in Silverton.
It certainly was. And there's so many things to do that we have yet to actually encounter everything and try everything here. We're going to have to come back again another time.
Well, you know, there's the old 100 gold mine you can do a tour through over in Silverton, and you know, there's so many different things.
It's been a great time here this year. I'm looking forward to trying this again sometime. In the meantime, what's that saying of yours?
Keep the shiny side up, the greasy side down. You guys take care. We'll see you later.
See you next time.
Bye.